Yesterday we got a mushroom ceremony in Wakaki Aromillo. How it was for you?
Yeah, it was overall I think it was a very beautiful ceremony. I think initially I was definitely fighting with myself and letting the mushrooms take hold and show me what they needed to see. I felt myself kind of going in and out of 3D and whatever D I was in and vibrating. When I was not in 3D, I was vibrating really highly, and then as soon as I caught myself, I could feel the vibration stop, and that was when I felt like I was getting interactions with, I don't know if it was, I got very connected to the land, and I don't know if I was interacting with beings that were in that part of the land, and they were showing me, because I got a lot of female energy, a lot of fertility, sexual energy from who I was interacting with. So it felt like they were the guardians of that space.
Amazing. They show up to you then. So Pachamama has different aspects to show up. It's a feminine presence. They show up to you maybe in that shape.
Yeah. And yeah, I just remember feeling myself wondering what this lesson was telling me, but I was just kind of like let it just be, and I'll just go with where it was going to take me. And then I remember really strongly for about 20 minutes I was sitting there and I kept flinching because something was going in and giving me this inner fixing.
Something was what?
Something was.
You felt like
yeah.
like a kind of surgery.
Yeah, and
you felt some in which area?
It was in my stomach area mainly, but I remember my body kept kind of flinching quite a bit for that period. But yeah, I mean, the whole time I did feel like I was quite grounded with it and just felt what was coming, and I was trying not to overthink it. My ego did come in a lot and try to rationalize what was going on while it was happening. I think the most powerful bit for me was when, one bit I was told to put my hands both on the big rock that I was lying next to, and my hands kind of melted into it.
Oh, you notice some changes. You notice when you put your hands there, you notice some interaction between the rock and you.
Yeah, totally. And kind of like felt my hands were just like became
the rock.
Yeah,
you mimetized with the rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I was just definitely told to do that. And it felt like some sort of, I don't know, download or connection. My whole really experience was about feeling very connected to the mountain and where I was, and I think that was the main lesson I took from it, was that I am connected to nature. And I think one thing that kept coming was these flies. Every time I felt the vibration was really high, every single time I was kind of like receiving something, that they were very strong. And normally I'm like, oh, get away, but I felt like that was a sign from something.
Yeah, I felt that too. That's for me the vibration of everything, of creation. You perceive the wind, the trees, every single in just, and it's strong and oscillates. But if you pay attention, really, like you meditate with that sound and you connect with that sound, then start to communicate. You start to hear voices, you start to hear spirits, and then through the vibration, you start like to communicate with you.
Nice, yeah.
You told me that you had something like that. You hear? No.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it. Well, when you sent me up the mountain by myself, I think that was a really
go alone to the mountain.
I was like, oh, go alone, because I was still tripping.
Of course.
At the time, and I couldn't really see. But it was a case of really connecting with the intuition and trusting the whole process and trusting you and saying what to do. So, kind of just went with it. There was moments of like, every so often I was kind of told to stop and just like sit with what I was feeling, and every kind of time I did that was a different message that came through. I can't quite remember what they all were, but I just remember getting to the top of the mountain and it kind of feeling like it called me there, and being very grateful for making it up there. And it felt like a pilgrimage because it was tough. I had to sit down and I was like but yeah, when I got there, that whole energy shifted completely.
Different vibration, different energy.
Different vibration. It felt older. the whole place.
Older, right? Very old.
Very old. There was obviously a lot of
Some guardians you saw, some faces.
So yeah, when I was sat in the back of the cave, to my right there was to my right there was this feminine energy, and then in the
Again.
left, in the left was a really strong male presence, but it was like, I think he said, "Thank you for coming here, brother." And then I kind of don't know if I was seeing what I was seeing, but I felt like I had been on a medicine path in a previous life, but where I am now is I'm so early on in the journey that I don't know how to navigate the things that are coming through. So it's like, I think a lot of stuff is coming in, but
so it's like downloads that you were receiving, but you don't know what to do. But you knew that this happened like before, but you have like a new, fresh mind.
Yeah,
to
and it's like relearning.
Like a reminder.
Yeah. So, and then when I wanted to leave the cave, I kind of put my shoes back on, and then it said, "Come back in." And then I sat again with it, and then I got a real sense of like empowerment, and like strength and independence, and just like
you feel alone in the mountain with all that beautiful view.
It was amazing.
You don't have anything else.
No.
Just
And it was just like, it was so nice to just be myself there with nothing around watching me.
Different perception, right? Different perception when we are alone in the mountain. We used to, but in that state, it's different perception. Different. It's more real. The feeling of being free.
Yeah, totally. And then on the walk down, again, it was like I was just super connected with nature, and everything was. It was beautiful.
Beautiful,
it was a really
right?
beautiful experience, yeah. And I couldn't really put into words how beautiful it was. Still probably can't put into words how beautiful it was. And I just really enjoyed like feeling a part of it rather than like, not an intruder. I felt like
Right, like welcome, like welcome into these. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I've been not welcome. I access into some places that sometimes you're not welcome, no. But it's good like to recognize both, as I said, no, darkness and light. And okay, we'll see how it's gonna be today.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be today. What else? Something else that you want to share?
I definitely feel like my ego is going to be tested at some point with this.
Could be.
Yeah.
You never know.
What else was there? Yeah, I mean, overall it was pretty beautiful. The only the thing that I saw the energy that Gabby was going through, and I was like scared by it.
It was so vivid, so real.
What did you see?
Me?
I never asked your perspective of what you saw.
What I saw into you, in both of you. Like what I understand is that both they have the same kind of level of intensity to gain some kind of knowledge or information, but in completely different ways, right? And this is what we understand, that plants works in a mystery way that shows in different ways. And but according to my experience with all people that I've been, you're very well. You're very, especially you being in one leg. Come on, you one leg hiking up in mushrooms. So it's for sure some shadows is gonna appear, right?
Yeah, of course.
No, it's too much to handle, right? So, but that means that you are very grounded, a warrior, and give us a chance to observe ourselves, really, and what I see also is that in you, like the level of darkness that you have is the same level of light that you have. As much as we know, as much as we grow in light, as much as we touch that, darkness is going to reach out in order to see how much you're right. It's not that as much as I learn, darkness is going to go, no. Darkness is going to reach the same level as you, so it's double-edged every time you want like to learn or to know more or to do something working with plants or shamanism or whatever. It's not like something to play with, and we need to know why we want to do this, and what's the purpose of these, because once we touch these kind of spaces, then we got to put the work on it, because now you see it. And as you said, so many people, they are just they don't know that the conditioning that they have in some kind of vibration, that they are like pursuing their desires or goals or whatever through this fear of lack of necessity or whatever, which is darkness too, right, at different levels. So yeah, well, and you will I think in your case also, you told me in your first experience that you had like some kind of darkness stuff too, but this time that appears, but it wasn't not too, for me, it's as much as we meet darkness face to face, then we know that, it's not gonna harm us. It's just part of us, and so then we can achieve it. So darkness is gonna come in different ways, not just in plants, could be in life, could be in, and it's all the tests, and could be real just as a psychedelic experience, But yeah, it's amazing, guys. I'm so proud of you. And as a couple to do this, like, it's not easy because she's screaming, you want to go on your journey, and I already told you guys, like, don't focus in your own self during the journey. After,
that was kind of like conscious, because when I saw that you left, that's kind of when I was able to really like push
to release,
this out, to release. So I was conscious that
totally.
I didn't
Okay.
want to do that.